danger spots in any college football season. Ranked team against unranked opponent, and we'll see if the upset can shake up the rankings in this one. Welcome to venerable Bobby Dodd Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia, home of the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech. As we'll see a squad from the ACC, the North Texas Mean Green, taking on one of the top teams in this conference, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Yellow Jackets will kick it off to get us underway. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. So North Texas offense will get first crack at it here. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was seeing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you...
There he goes! They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's first down. They moved the chains on the ground last time. Let's see if they try to hit him up top. Wants to throw on first down. Oh, he dropped it, and what a missed opportunity early in this football game. Backed up now, here's second and long. Back to pass. Makes the catch, it's Bueno. Well, they made the grab, but the doors closed quickly after that.
And I like this. I want to find my running back, but man, he's got to do a little more damage after the catch. I need a stiff arm. I need a spin move. I need something where...
Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked one time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
North Texas will have to punt it away. The punter going to get his first work of the afternoon. Secures it at the 30. Working his way on the return up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. The Yellow Jackets offense will have its first possession of the game. This wide receiver matchup is one that we've been waiting to see. You have two guys on either side, Jesse, who are really going to make the secondaries nervous.
Oh, they should, because these guys can take the top off of defense. You've got two very dynamic individuals playing on each offense, and if I'm playing quarterback in this game for either team, I am going to take my shots and give my guy an opportunity, because both of these guys, David, have proven they can make circus-level catches.
I mean, when they're not open, they're open. I mean, they can make the dynamic catches, the contested catches. They have the speed. They are two of the best playmakers in all of the country. So whenever an offense has the football today, you're going to like the show.
Fires it beautifully in on the crosser. They convert on third down as he gets it to the 46-yard line. Give to the back. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. One man in the backfield, and he gets it. Shakes off the defender. And they'll get him down, but boy, did he put some dudes in the spin side. My goodness. Looking for a crease, it's Judowski. Not much room to run. Let's give him one to the 33. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. From the gun, running back gets the give. They get him stopped after a pickup of 5 to the 28. And the Yellow Jackets come to the line on third down, trying to keep this drive alive. Creates a little space. Breaks into the open. The chains will move, and they'll have inside the red zone at the 18. Wide receiver going in motion. They'll give it to him again. He's wrestled to the ground right at the 15-yard line, and a big red zone opportunity here. Leaves it with the running back. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. The Yellow Jackets come to the line on 3rd and short, trying to convert here. Looking to throw, it's Morton. Pocket breaking down. It falls incomplete. He was trying to find his man for 6. So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. Wide receiver comes in motion. On 4th down, they'll try to throw it. And with the completion out to the sideline, they'll pick up a couple. And the Yellow Jackets trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. Can the defense stop them again on 2nd and goal? Looking to fire. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Georgia Tech! They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. That is what they mean when they say ball control, a 14-play touchdown drive. And they get it into the end zone with a 6-yard touchdown pass. On the run from inside his own 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. Opening play of this drive will come from their own 23. Looking for room, it's Bueno. Now after that run, they're in pretty good shape at the 30-yard line. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. The Mean Green can be aggressive if they choose here on 2nd and short. Goes to the option. And he never had a chance to get the pitch off on the option as he's tackled in the backfield. Here they come, trying to convert a 3rd and short from the 28. Snagged out of the air. And he's brought down, but a flag is also down.
Hold.
A costly penalty wipes out that 3rd down conversion, and now they'll back up and try it again. Grabbed over the middle. It's Hawkins. They'll stop him at the 24, and that brings up 4th down. They'll wrap him up and bring him down, and that's how we'll wrap up the first quarter. That's the end of the period, and Georgia Tech has the lead. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the 2nd. First play of the period, 1st down here. Back to pass, it's Morton. The throw to the outside is complete. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. The give to the tailback. Turning it on! Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. This time he wants to throw. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage. The Yellow Jackets now with a long way to go to pick up the 1st down. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Can't make the connection on third down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's fourth down. They kick it away on fourth down. Special teams coming through as they pin them back. They'll mark it dead at the 10. North Texas takes possession. The Mean Green offense will return to the field. How about that defense getting back there? He'll lose a couple. After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Wants to go up top. He finds a soft spot in the middle. Really nice gain. Gets it out across the 20. It'll be a first down at the 22. Use the play fake. Now to throw. It's complete on the right side. He snagged it, but he'll be stopped short of the first down. Good, solid pickup on that play. They'll run play action. Oh, they're after him. Catch in the middle. It's Hawkins. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered. An explosive play to the 40.
Well, he was putting up big numbers coming into this one. We knew the quarterback was going to go his way early and often. And with that last catch, he's now got over 500 yards receiving on the year.
They go to the ground.
This offense is perfectly fine with a little game because they're going to make you tackle this all game long. They're going to make you think all game long. So they'll keep running it ad nauseum and just wait for that one opportunity when you don't do your assignment.
North Texas lining up, facing 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Lets it fly deep downfield. And good coverage and better hands on that shot to the end zone. North Texas will have to punt it away. Let's see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. And the ball will bounce at the 4 and find its way into the end zone for a touchback. Georgia Tech has the ball back, and here comes the Yellow Jacket offense. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so we got to put them on their heels here. Maybe mix up a few personnel groupings and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Looking downfield, it's Morton. A little too much on that one, just out of his reach. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. And the Yellow Jackets will bring the punt team onto the field. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. Makes the catch, wants to make a move upfield. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. North Texas sends the offense back onto the field. They've gotten very little done on their first 3 possessions. It's a fumble! Recovered by the defense, and he's off! And they'll get him down after a solid return.
And when you're on defense and it's wet, it's raining, you know exactly what time it is. That ball gets a little heavier, it gets a little slicker. You're trying to get to that thing. You know you get your hand on it. There's a good chance it's coming out. Nice job on the defense, forcing it with the assist from the ref.
So, guys, we'll get another look at this offense. They'll run it from the gun. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. We'll repeat the previous down, but this time the offense has 10 more yards it has to cover. Off the play fake on first down. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. Wants to throw. It's Morton. A little screen to the running back. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in. The Yellow Jackets trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. Out of the gun, looking to throw. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. And he got nothing, and the line of scrimmage is still the 5-yard line. On 3rd and goal, they'll try to throw it in. And he can't find his man as he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity. And now on 4th down, they'll try a field goal. Absolutely perfect. And now the lead is extended a little further.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
After putting up a 3-spot, the kickoff unit set to go. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. A quick pass to the left. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Whistle blows. We are at the 2-minute timeout, and man, oh man, could these guys use a score to cut into this lead. Trying play action. He lost it high and deep down the left side. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at 3rd down. And now let's see if the offense can bail itself out after the 2nd down misfire. Under fire! And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete. North Texas will have to punt it away. Now on the return. Makes a move. Really explosive when he gets his hands on the ball, and he found a couple of crevices and made a nice game before being run out of bounds. Going with the ground game left. Spins away from the defender. And he has a solid gain before the defense bottles him up. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Halfway there on 1st down, it's 2nd and 5. Toss to the outside. Oh, he's got some space. He works his way to the 23 before he goes out of bounds. Snap to the back. Oh, and he's going backwards. Defense not fooled at all by the Wildcats. And the Yellow Jackets with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Quarterback just flat missed it. Incomplete. They're close enough for a makeable field goal from the 26, but they'd love to convert this 3rd and long. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here comes the field goal unit as they'll try to take the 3. Good, right down the boulevard. And now the lead is even bigger.
And listen, y'all know in the booth and everywhere how I feel about kickers. Don't always love leaving it on their foot, so to speak, but nice job executing. He keeps doing stuff like that. I'll keep trying him out there.
Here's the return from inside his 10. And the returner is brought down, but there's a flag on the play.
Illegal block by the back. Return taken.
So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. This offense starts deep in a hole. Motion from the wide receiver. Going right to work up top. Quickly complete. We've got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Now on the move. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. They're about to wear this punter out. He's already been out 4 times, staring at a 5th if they can't move the chains. Referee signals timeout. It's the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. They punted away on 4th down. Excellent coverage that time. Didn't give him any room to set up a big return. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Sets up the screen. Nice move there. The clock will stop with this timeout from the offense. They'll get a chance to regroup on the sideline. And in the final seconds of the first half, they'll send out the field goal unit. He boomed it through. A 50-yard field goal showing off that powerful leg. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Gentlemen, what else is new? A really raucous environment there in Atlanta. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. And with that, let's send it back to the guys on the flats at Bobby Dodd Stadium.
North Texas will kick it off to start things here in the second half. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Georgia Tech offense rolls back onto the field. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. And this one will be stopped for no gain. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. It's Morton. Fires to the middle. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Hauls it in. He'll be stopped about 2 yards short of a 1st down. The Yellow Jackets will try to pin them back with the punt. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. He looks it in and makes the fair catch, and they'll have it at the 32. So, guys, we'll see this offense again. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. After the filthy move, he's got room. Found a bunch of room and got it to the 44-yard line.
And how about the running back, man? Rips off a big play. This offense creates some momentum, and what do? They keep their foot on the gas right back on the football to try to keep this offense rolling.
They'll run the option. Stonewalled again. No gain on the play. They keep trying to stick with the running game, but there's not much getting done.
Nice job by this defense playing assignment football. Somebody has to have the quarterback. Somebody has to have the pitch. And most importantly, when you get there, you got to get them on the ground. Nice job tackling by this defense.
And this offense is desperate to keep this drive alive. Trailing by multiple possessions, and it's getting late. Wants to go up top. Got it behind the line. It's Bueno. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the 1st down. North Texas will have to punt it away. And these guys have been busy. 6th punt of the day. And that one will find its way into the end zone for a touchback. The Ramblin' Wreck offense rolls back onto the field. Here's another opportunity, Jesse, to stretch out this lead after punting last time.
I think it goes back to your playmakers, Reese. I think it's finding the guys that have been working for you earlier on in this game and getting them the football.
Yeah, and there's obviously no need to panic. I mean, think about it. You got the lead. You got the football. You got to be smart with the football, make your plays, put a good drive together.
Wrestled down at the 32 after a pickup of 5. Looking to throw, it's Morton. And down goes the quarterback. There are penalty flags down, but it looks as if this might be on the offense. They'll decline that penalty, obviously very happy with results of the play. To the air on second down. Just too much juice on that one as he airmails his receiver out of bounds. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. They're going to keep this drive going. They'll have to make a play on 3rd and long from the 26. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Fires to the wideout. Another incompletion on 3rd down. And the Yellow Jackets will punt this one away. Coverage team gets the job done, and they'll mark him down at the 38-yard line. North Texas takes possession. The Mean Green offense will return to the field. After 3 consecutive punts, we'll see if they can dial up something that can get this offense moving forward. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. He'll ride his man on the option. And the runner is down, and so is a flag. Amazing how many times an offensive holding penalty will stall a drive. We'll see if the offense can overcome it. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Scrambling away. There he goes. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
And they're going to need a lot more of this to get back in this football game. They're trailing. They're trying to make plays. I like the decision-making of the young man, though. Don't force the football. We already got to make big plays. The defense knows it, too. Nice job pulling it down, scrambling, getting the first down. Now you got to keep it going.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. Back to pass. Rushes on him. And it's incomplete, but there's a flag in the backfield. Let's see who the call's on. They say you could call holding on every play. Well, they did on that one. 2nd down, they'll go to the air. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
Man, this defense has played so well, and this offense, they've struggled. They haven't executed great. They're going to have to do it against a really good defense who continues to apply pressure. They got to find a way to protect their quarterback a little better.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, no secret what he needs here. Quickly out to the tight end. And that corner came in hot despite knowing that he was giving up some size. Hunt is on its way. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. Georgia Tech has the ball back, and here comes the Yellow Jacket offense. They'll leave it with him. Running to Green. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41.
Man, that's excellent blocking there on the left side of the line. They were able to get great push, get off the line, create a little bit of crease for that running back.
They just created a wall. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Got room on the return. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
And you will always remember your first, and how about that? Breaking on the football, getting an INT, the first INT. Keep the football, brother. The first of many big-time plays for this guy.
First and goal, and a great opportunity to slice into this lead. He's looking to throw. It's complete to the right. Touchdown, North Texas. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
Number 27.
When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
Now the two-point conversion attempt is coming. He's looking to throw. Pressure coming. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. And the defense jumps on it, and they get that turnover.
Georgia Tech 16, North Texas 6.
They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. From inside the 10-yard line, he'll bring it back. Finds just enough space to cross the 25. Let's mark it at the 27-yard line. First play of this drive comes from the 27. Toss sweep right. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. A negative play to open the drive. Let's see what they've got on 2nd and 14. To the air. It's Morton. Finds his big tight end. And he gets it to the 45-yard line, and that'll be a first down.
The defense has got to be able to make a play at some point here in the second half. You're down 2 possessions. You need to steal a possession badly. You need to have a takeaway. The coverage is going to have to be way tighter than on that last throw. Otherwise, this offense is just going to go up and down the field.
Now a first down from the 45-yard line. They'll give it to the back. At the 45 on its way. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44. Guys, we've reached the end of the quarter, and Georgia Tech has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. One quarter to go, and might we have the makings of a classic fourth quarter finish. They go back to work in the final period of this one. Direct snap. It's Judowski. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, the running back has it. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. He'll be stopped short of the line to gain. Needed about 3 more on that one. The Yellow Jackets line up to punt it away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. And he will boom that punt out of bounds. No chance for a return. Let's see where the officials spot it. Finds his tight end. That's a really good tackle there, giving up some size and still making the play. They'll move the wide receiver. 2nd down, he'll throw it. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. What a time that would have been for their first pick of the game. Couldn't find his man last time, and that leaves him with a 3rd and 6. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf. North Texas will have to punt it away. Cradles it at the 35. And the punt team able to sling him to the ground. The Georgia Tech offense rolls back onto the field. They missed an opportunity to extend this lead the last time they had it, Jesse.
Yeah, they got to be able to regain that momentum, right? Go back to what was working earlier on in this one. And, David, to me, that starts with being the more physical team.
No, I definitely agree. Being the more physical team, but understanding the situation of the game. You're still winning. You got the football back. Now put a nice drive together and execute.
Back to throw, it's Morton. And they can't make the play on third down. And the Yellow Jackets will send out the punt unit. They're up to a half dozen kicks today. Fields the punt and looking for daylight. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Gives it on the option. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. Stuck with a running game on first down. Now here they come again. Pulls it in. It's Bueno. And they wrap him up, but not before he gets enough on the catch for the first down. New set of downs after the completion. Motion from the back. Here comes the option. Makes the stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4. North Texas now has a ton of work to do here on 2nd down. Looking to fire. Makes the grab. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground to cover to pick up the first. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43.
Oh, it's a missed opportunity. You know the quarterback was excited. He saw man coverage. He thought he was going to have an opportunity to come up with a big play, but up front they could not protect him well enough.
Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. He's not going to make it, and what a big stop for this defense, and they might be able to put this thing away. They'll run it, trying to drain time off the clock. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. To the ground. He's got it again. Breaks into the open. Really good job by everybody there. Well blocked. Good run and a first down. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Maybe this will breathe a little life into this offense, which has been flatlined in the 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air. It's Morton. He put it out there for him, and the senior gave him a chance, but they couldn't make the connection. So now it's 2nd and long. He'll do it himself. Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. Using his legs, it's Judowski. Quick timeout called by the defense, stopping the clock to save as much time as possible for their offense. So here we are on 4th down, and this field goal kicker is going to face all the pressure in the world. It's good. He could have hit a string right in the middle of the uprights there. And that lead grows even bigger.
I really like the decision by this offense because now they got to score 2 touchdowns. Time is not on their side. I can stay very, very conservative. Use that clock. I like the decision by this offense.
On the move from inside his 5. He was looking for more running room, but none to be found as he stopped at the 23. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Here's the pressure. And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15. North Texas in the hurry up.
I got to be honest, I'm a little surprised the offense is trying to go so fast here after giving up a huge loss on that sack. You'd think they'd want to just take a second and regroup before running this next play.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Under fire. Caught over the middle. It's Bueno. They'll stop him at the 24, and that brings up 4th down. Coach has no choice here. The offense has to stay on the field, down multiple possessions. This lost one deep down the right side. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
The Rambling Wreck offense rolls back onto the field. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
And I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game.
Back down, but they'll move the sticks for a 1st down. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Looks like the offense will just take a knee. Oh, that was a pretty rough showing there by this team. Just couldn't find a way to get things going and come up with the win.
Just got outplayed, Reese. There were moments in this game. There were plays to be had and plays to be made. At the end of the day, they just did not execute well enough in any of the 3 phases on any side of the football. So, David, moving forward, a lot to take away from this game as they try to improve.
A lot to take away and a lot to learn from. I mean, losses definitely hurt, they sting, but a lot of times most teams refocus and they get a sense of urgency now that they got a loss in that column. So watch the tape, watch what you need to improve on, and go attack it in practice.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.